Hi, fourth graders. The end of this week for Zern looks a little different. They actually skipped lesson 8 and lesson 9. They are story problems involving mixed units of weight or mixed units of time, and Zern skips 8 and 9. And so we want you to try and work through 10 and 11 by Friday. I know that's only 2 lessons, but because there are word problems, there's lots of steps, it takes a little while. You're just applying the same skills with converting units that we've been doing the whole module, so all of module 7. You can watch these videos to help. You can watch other YouTube videos if you just type in Engage New York grade 4, module 7, and then lesson whatever you're on. And there's tons of videos that go through more examples than this. You can also on Zern click on, depending on the lesson, it's either called the Math Chat, Learning Lab, or Z Squad, but those are the guided practice. That's where they walk you through the steps. So sometimes we make those optional and it takes you right to Tower of Power, but if you're struggling, those are things in Zern that will help you with the steps you need to pass the Tower of Power, okay? We're just gonna look at one example because there are so many steps in these, and I even copied the work ahead of time because it would have taken so long to draw with this little tool, but let's take a look. Okay, it says Paula's time swimming in the Ironman triathlon was 1 hour 25 minutes. Her time biking was 5 hours longer than her swimming time. She ran for 4 hours 50 minutes. How long did it take her to complete all 3 parts of the race? Okay, so the way they decided to solve this was using tape diagrams. That's helpful if you want. You don't need to do that. It's just a good visual. But they organized it by writing swimming, biking, and running. Those are the 3 parts. They gave us her swim time. Okay, so that's just 1 hour and 25 minutes. The next piece of information, kids often ignore the details. So they would just write often, for biking, she biked for 5 hours. But really it's saying she biked 5 hours longer than her swim time. So we have to have her swim time, which they put here, and then add 5 hours to it. Okay, and then her running time was 4 hours and 50 minutes. So the first step really is just to organize all your information. You can do it like this. You can do it in a table or a chart. You can just jot down the times to figure them all out, okay? And then you need to add them all together. So they added all the hours first. So 1 hour plus 6 hours plus 4 hours is 11 hours, okay? Then they added the minutes, 25 plus 25 plus 50, and that equals 100. Because 100 minutes is more than 1 hour, they used kind of a number bond to split it into the 1 hour and 40 minutes. So that equals 100. And then they used this 60 minutes to go from 11 hours to 12. Then they rewrote their final answer in a sentence, which you don't have to do, but it makes sense. Okay, it took Paula 12 hours and 40 minutes to complete all 3 parts of the race. These are tricky and take some work. So take your time, make sure you're not making little math errors, read the directions in the story problems carefully, and then if you're still struggling, go back to those little steps like the Math Chat or Learning Lab that will walk you through it, okay? That's all we want you to get through this week is get finished with lessons 10 and 11 on Zern by Friday. If you finish early, great, take the day off or do some extra fact practice or Prodigy. All right, see you back next week.